Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. Today we are going to look at an event, and I think I'm going to make a series of these whether or not I think an event is worth it. We are looking at Oath of the Gatewatch Part 1. I've already played through most of the event, and the question is this free event actually worth it? The answer is maybe. Let's look at your rewards, which as you can see, like I've already played through most of the event, and this is why it comes to maybe. 500 mana gems is what it is. Booster pack is always nice. 15 gold mana crystals for nothing is nice. More runes. I forget they call them runes now. I think they used to be called mana gems. I might be remembering that wrong. Another booster pack, some more crystals. They're not going to go wrong with that. And if I win this next event, I might be able to get this next crystals. We're going to look at the let's look at this first. As you can see, I've done all of these, so let's go to the event, and you can see that the event is in fact played through. The only thing left here is World Breaker. We're going to play against World Breaker with this deck. This is one of my most powerful decks. It's not my favorite deck, but it wins consistently. It has a non-combat win condition here. And if you look at it and you've watched any of my videos, you can see these cards here has continuous turn triggers. And where it works is, if you haven't seen this deck before, Risen Reef allows you to draw a card whenever an elemental enters the field, and Omnath puts out an elemental token anytime you have a landfall. So using these conversion spells is the word I want to use, yep. Every time you use one of these conversion spells, you're going to make a landfall, which triggers Omnath, puts an elemental, which triggers Risen Reef, which draws a card, and then as you're doing your landfalls, you're filling all of the mana in your hand. Anyway, you'll see it work. We're going to play through this one match, and then I'll explain to you why I say that this is only a maybe. I used the same character in all but one of the event, in all but one of the matchups in this event. Well, that's a nice start. That's the turn. That is a fantastic start. We're going to call out some creatures, and maybe this deck will trigger, and this will be a nice short. Nope, not necessarily. Oh well, it was a very fun start. We're not gonna. Oh no, another extra turn here. This might still work for us if we can draw an Omnath. Nope. Okay. We're gonna save these until. Let's trigger this one out and see if we can't get enough loyalty gems back to get an Omnath for the next turn. Our final opponent here is a level 128, I think. He ends up with 342 life points, and he has this ability here: destroy all gems of your opponent's color, which just creates a monstrous cascade for him. And you can see his mana bonuses aren't that big a deal. He's powerful. He's got some monstrous cards in his deck. You know, a force to be reckoned with. Oh, we got another free turn. Let's do it like this. See what happens. We're gonna get some mana, and there we go. So this might work out well. As you can see, this deck with this Planeswalker can get a little bit ridiculous. And there is our trigger. We are not going to cast this out immediately because we want... what the heck. We're going to have to go at least 2 more turns here, but we'll see what happens. Oh, that's too bad. I should have put Omnath first. So Omnath comes out, it draws a card. Omnath comes out, I draw a card. We convert, which is going to trigger those cards. An elemental is going to come out, I draw a card. And there, you've seen the trigger. So I'm going to talk about the event while this triggers, and here's where it does the non-combat damage. So I'm not attacking with my creatures. He's taking damage from the Warstorm Surge with the elementals coming in. This can only happen 5 times per turn. I typically hold that Warstorm Surge until I get at least 50 value of the elementals. But as you can see, he's already whittled down to 280 damage. We're going to get one more attack with the elementals. and now it's just gonna stack my hand and stack my creatures. So the next turn, when I get a landfall and I get an elemental token, that damage will then direct straight over. Next turn, unless he has a board wipe, which doesn't happen very often, but if he does have a board wipe, we'll win on the next turn. So with that all said and that explained, the reason I say this event is only a maybe and not a guess, because it is free to play, and there are a lot of rewards that are attractive, booster packs and mana crystals. The reason I say it's a maybe is because you have to play the event twice. When we finish this, we'll go back and look through it, and you'll see that none of the event challenges are completely full. And it's because some of those event challenges are against each other. Like in one match, it'll ask you to win a game with 30 life, but then also win a game with less than 30 life, or something similar. As a result, there's no way to do both of those challenges in one game, which means you have to fight that round at least twice. I used this same Planeswalker all the way through, except for one event. This might be game. We'll hit yes. Because what happens is the Warstorm Surge got destroyed in the Cascades, and then, that's interesting. The Warstorm Surge got destroyed in the Cascades, and it cast a new Warstorm Surge. Either way, we're not even going to go for any landfalls or anything. We're just going to let him wipe him out. So, as you can see, this deck is powerful. And, oh, wow. I didn't do my math correctly. I apologize. We're going to go through this. Okay, well, that was handy. And there's game. As you can see, this deck works incredibly well. Still not my favorite deck. I think my Aftermath deck is still my favorite deck. But this one works incredibly well. And I got 2 of the 3 challenges. Now, these 2 challenges I could have played together. Creatures without Defender during a single turn, and have 10 or more creatures you control destroyed or exiled. I could build that deck. There are a lot of creatures that you can either there are cards that allow you to sacrifice your creatures to gain mana, and there are also board wipes that you can do, and you can build those into these loop decks relatively simply. So with that done, you'll see that I did not get all of the rewards. I will have gotten all but the very last reward. The last reward is a single bonus card, and bonus rare cards are nice because if you're working on building in your previous libraries and finishing out your sets, there's a chance you'll get a card you don't have. At the same time, if you do have it, you're going to get 100 of the runes, which can then be used to booster packs, or create booster crafting is what it's called. Give me a second there. So let's look at these. You can see there's my same Planeswalker. Take 10 or less, or take 35 or more. You have to play this twice. Cast 3 or less, cast 8 or more. You have to play this twice. Here's the one time I didn't use him because I did in fact want to do the 3 or less. I could have used him, and it would have just done the first and second, or the first and third, possibly the first and third challenges here, as opposed to the first and second. But again, something you have to do twice, and you'll see that goes all the way. See here, I got first and third. Win with 10 or less, and win with 40 or more. You have to do that twice. And, oops, that's not what I wanted. Winning with 10 or less is a very difficult challenge. I typically do it with Chandra, with just a spell deck and no creatures, and it's just a direct damage deck that will direct damage my opponent, and also Chandra has the ability to do 30 damage just with her third loyalty. Anyway, we're not going to go into that deck. Again, here, have 3 or fewer creatures, or have 6 or more creatures destroyed. You have to play this twice. That was Minna and Dean. Kill 3 or less or destroy 6 or more. You have to play it twice. And then we just watched World Breaker, which I said I could have done that, but it still would have only given me 1 gem. And 1 gem would not give me enough to finish this. You have to play through this event twice in order to get your last reward. So is it worth it? If you're a new player and you're working on decks, trying to figure out how they work, you're working on your mechanics, and you want to see how cards are going to work together and which cards in your collection are going to work the best, yeah, this might be worth it. It's also nice because it's PvE, and these don't time out, like you don't only get 3 opportunities. So you can play these over and over and over to work on your decks. They do not earn additional, I don't know what they call these, score points if you play it a second time through. So if I play this again, I will not earn this. I think this is a 5 and this is a 3. I will not earn those. The only way I can get these is if I earn this 1 point here. And that is the same for all of these. So I say maybe because there are 2 resources in the world. One of them is money. In this case, it's gems. The other is time. There is another event going on right now, the Harvest Tide, which I haven't started yet because it's a PvP event, and those I have to spend a little bit more time on. Also a free event with some halfway decent rewards, mostly booster packs. And I might make a video on that too. And then there's the Trial of Zeal, which is almost over. I never joined it. I was playing another event that was going on. But again, a lot of great rewards here for a free event. I don't know what the rules are on this one. And it is PvE, so it's probably very similar to Oath of the Gatewatch. So, thank you for joining me today. I know this is a very different video than I've made in the past, but I just thought it was interesting to look at these events, which ones I play and which ones I don't. I constantly encourage people to play all of the events in order to earn your gold gems. One of the things I admire about this game, I mean, I have my complaints, but the thing that I admire about this game is it's very free to play, user friendly. If you're just looking for a game that you don't have to dump any money into, or you don't have to dump a lot or any at all. I have spent money on this game. I try and support the games that I play a lot and that I enjoy. However, you can play this game free to play. There are a lot of opportunities to play for free and a lot of opportunities to succeed. People who pay to play are always going to have stronger decks, making PvP much more competitive and difficult. But the PvE environment here is pretty user-friendly. So, again, thank you for joining me today. I will see you next time. We'll have some more fun.